I knew something was wrong the moment she set her fork down and said my name the way someone says a word they're afraid might break if they're not gentle enough. Daniel, I need to ask you something. That was our 12th anniversary dinner. White tablecloth, candles, soft jazz, everything I thought she loved. And yet her eyes looked glassy, unfocused, like she was rehearsing a conversation she'd been terrified to start. What is it? I asked, trying to sound casual though my chest tightened. I'd felt her drifting for months, slipping somewhere I couldn't reach. She exhaled shakily. I want a separation. Just like that. No build-up. No explanation. No chance for me to brace myself. I felt something inside me fracture quietly, like a bone snapping underwater. No sound, just the sensation. Her hands trembled in her lap. She wasn't looking at me anymore. And in that moment I realized something I should have seen long before that night. This wasn't sudden for her. This was the end of a long silent war she'd been fighting alone. I swallowed. Is there someone else? She flinched at the question. That was all the answer I needed. 2 days later, I found what she hadn't had the courage to say out loud. Her iPad was open on the couch. She must have forgotten to lock it. I wasn't looking for anything, I swear. But one notification flashed across the screen. You were incredible last night. I can't stop thinking about you. My stomach dropped so violently that for a moment I couldn't breathe. I opened the messages. Her replies were polite but distant, still they were replies. We can't do this. Please don't message me so late. I told you it was a mistake. I'm trying to fix things at home. I stared at the screen until the words blurred. So it wasn't an ongoing affair, but there had been something. A night. A moment. A choice. She had betrayed me, but what tore me apart was the evidence that she had tried to pull away, tried to stop it, tried to save us. And I hadn't even noticed she was drowning. I didn't confront her immediately. I didn't scream or throw anything or demand answers. Instead, I waited. I watched her more closely, the way she avoided physical contact, the way she lingered in the shower longer than usual, the way she forced smiles that didn't reach her eyes. Guilt clung to her like a shadow. 3 nights later, she finally broke. We were sitting on opposite ends of the couch, the silence between us thick and suffocating, when she whispered, I made a mistake, Daniel. I kept my gaze forward. I know. Her breath caught. You saw the messages? I nodded. She covered her face with her hands and began to cry. Not the sharp, angry tears from a fight, but the soft, exhausted sobs of someone who hated themselves. I didn't sleep with him, she said through her fingers. I swear on everything I didn't. But I wanted attention. I wanted to feel like someone saw me. I felt invisible. I hated myself for it, but I couldn't stop. Her confession hurt more than the messages, because I realized she wasn't lying. I really hadn't seen her. Not for a long time. But the wound she'd created still burned. So what now? I asked. I don't know, she whispered. I thought I wanted to leave, but now I'm just lost. For the next few days we lived like polite strangers. But something in me, something petty, wounded, deeply human, wanted her to feel the same knife I had felt. Not by cheating back. Not by yelling. Not by exposing her to our friends or family. I wanted her to see what her loss meant. What losing me would actually look like. So I pulled away. Not cruelly, just enough for her to notice. I stopped initiating conversations. I slept on the far edge of the bed. I answered her questions with one-word replies. I took longer walks. I cooked dinner and left her plate in the microwave with a sticky note instead of eating with her. For once, she was the one reaching. She was the one trying. And I let the distance open just enough for her to feel the fear I had felt. It wasn't revenge exactly. Not the kind you read in scandalous stories. It was emotional truth reflected back at her. A mirror. The change happened on a rainy Thursday night. She came into the living room where I was sitting in the dark, phone on my lap but untouched. Her eyes were red, maybe from crying, maybe from exhaustion. Daniel, she said softly, I don't want to lose you. Please tell me what you need. I'll do anything. The desperation in her voice didn't feel satisfying the way I expected. It didn't feel triumphant. It felt sad, human, and painfully honest. I finally looked at her. Really looked. Her shoulders were slumped. Her sweater sleeves were pulled over her hands like she was trying to hide inside them. She looked smaller than I'd ever seen her. And I realized something. The revenge I'd been quietly inflicting wasn't healing either of us. It was just prolonging the ache. I patted the couch beside me. She sat without hesitation, fingers twisting nervously. I need the truth, I said. All of it. Not the edited version. So she told me everything. How the loneliness crept in. How she tried to talk to me but always backed down when I seemed too busy or tired. How the attention from another person felt like a spark in a dark room. How she pulled away before anything physical happened but couldn't forgive herself. We talked for hours, longer than we had in years. Sometimes quietly. Sometimes through tears. Sometimes in silence, letting our hands inch closer until they touched. The next morning felt different. Not fixed. Not perfect. But different. She woke before me, sitting at the edge of the bed with a cup of tea in her hands. When she saw me stir, she whispered, "I don't want a separation anymore. I want us. Even if it takes years to rebuild." I believed her. Not because she said it, but because for the first time in months, I felt something from her that wasn't fear or guilt or detachment. I felt love. Raw, broken, imperfect love, but love all the same. It's been 18 months since then. We're still healing. Still learning. Still rebuilding brick by brick. Some days are hard. Some nights I still wake up remembering that message. But we're trying. Both of us. Actively. Honestly. Sometimes clumsily. And that unexpected request on our anniversary, the one that shattered me? It became the crack that let new light in. A painful beginning. But also a real one. A new one.